Hey everyone, it's Freidberg with the Illuminerdi, and today we're going to be discussing what we can expect and hope to see in Doctor Strange 3. Before we get started, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share to help us continue to grow. On May 6th, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness hit theaters, giving fans of the Marvel Cinematic Universe a deeper dive into the multiverse and the story of Stephen Strange. The film was among the most anticipated of Marvel's Phase 4 lineup, and after the teases and ending of the film, it's time to talk about what could take place in Doctor Strange 3. Spoilers ahead for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is going to be a tough act to follow, with Sam Raimi's horror elements implemented, as well as our first look into the greater multiverse. One can only hope that Raimi will return to direct the third film in the series. The film concluded with Doctor Strange's actions catching up with him. In order for Strange to stop the Scarlet Witch from killing America Chavez and causing irreversible damage to the multiverse, he utilized the Darkhold. The Darkhold has corrupted several characters throughout the Marvel Cinematic Universe, including Agatha Harkness, the Scarlet Witch, Sinister Strange, and Earth 838's Doctor Strange. The end of the film followed a seemingly content Strange going for a stroll when a third eye bursts open on his forehead. This third eye represents Strange's corruption as seen with his Sinister Strange variant. Of course, as we saw in the first post-credits scene for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, this doesn't seem to bother him much. While Strange is on yet another stroll, a portal opens near him with Clea, played by Charlize Theron, stepping through. The portal she steps through leads from the Dark Dimension, which makes sense as she is the niece of Dormammu. In the comics, she spent much of her life in the Dark Dimension training, before she would inevitably leave with Stephen Strange, whom she would go on to marry. Clea is sure to be a main character in Doctor Strange 3, with a high-profile actor like Theron playing the role. With her connections to the Dark Dimension, we are likely set to see the return of Dormammu. While we only got a small tease of the character in 2016's Doctor Strange, we will hopefully get a deeper dive into the history of him. We might even get an explanation as to why Dormammu is played by Benedict Cumberbatch. Is he a variant of Doctor Strange? It'd be weird, but it isn't impossible. Hopefully, we'll see the character in his more humanoid form this time around. With a potential Dormammu role in the film, we could see the return of Mads Mikkelsen's Caecilius. Last time we saw him, he was taken into the Dark Dimension by Dormammu after his bargain with Doctor Strange. His character was never visibly killed, so we could see the return of Caecilius in the third Doctor Strange film. With as talented an actor as Mikkelsen playing the role, Marvel Studios could easily bring him back for the added star power. Finally, we can expect the return of Karl Mordo, the variant from Earth 616, the universe we followed since 2008's Iron Man. Last we saw him, he devoted his life to killing undeserving sorcerers, including Doctor Strange. While he only got a small mention in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, we did meet his variant, Baron Mordo of Earth 838. We could see these two Mordos team up, since they both now have reason to be angry with Stephen Strange, and if alive, the Scarlet Witch. Doctor Strange 3 has the potential to be the best of the trilogy, if they can manage to top Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. If Sam Raimi returns, we're in for another Marvel Studios horror film. With the inclusion of Clea, and at least one Mordo, and hopefully the return of Dormammu, the world of Doctor Strange is set to grow exponentially. What are your thoughts on Doctor Strange 3? Are you excited for the inclusion of Clea, Dormammu, and maybe both Mordos? Let us know in the comments and on our Twitter. Thank you all for watching, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and share, and be sure to check out our Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and website. See you all next time.